How was LA? How was the show?
Amazing, phenomenal. Honestly, I was a little afraid because it's such a big risk putting a show on like this, and you know, the Forum is such a magical location. But yeah, we had 10,000 plus people in, so you saw it yourself.
Yes.
It was crazy.
And then also we had a vinyl set.
Vinyl set, yeah.
What's the idea behind the vinyl set?
Well, I always see Armin Only as Christmas dinner with Armin van Buuren, so you know, I also want to show my fans I'll never forget where I come from.
Right.
And instead of playing reworks of the classics, I was just like, you know, why not just play the original vinyl? Because it brings back the original sound of the classics.
Right.
And I always felt that, you know, vinyl added something special. The sound of vinyl added something special to the trance music because actually you're getting less information than from a CD or from a USB key. Because the sound characteristics of vinyl, they cut away the, you know, parts of the frequency spectrum. But it just adds something to the sound, you know. And yeah, it's a little gift to my fans, I guess. Love it. I mean, you know, I've been DJing for such a long time in my career that, you know, to keep it interesting and exciting for myself, I love doing various things. So what keeps me excited for all these years is, of course, the music, the fans, but also, you know, doing all these different shows and trying different things. And I mean, a show like Armin Only is not just you know, the way to promote the music or whatever, but it's really also for myself to keep it, you know, exciting. And you know, I want to wake up in the morning thinking, wow, I'm going to go to LA and do the show. I'm going to bring this person and that person. And yeah, it's just, I mean, financially, it's the worst decision I ever made, but creatively, it's the best decision. You know, I wanted to play a little deeper set at Create, and you know, play a lot of new music, test out, because the clubs gives me more room to experiment. At the Forum, I played some new tracks, but it, you know, obviously there's less room to experiment because, you know, it's more of there's more of a bigger crowd. So, and also the attention span is such a massive venue. It's usually shorter than in a club. So in a club you can like play a trance track for 6-7 minutes, no problem. But at the Forum, after 3 minutes, people start looking around, and you know, so you have to keep it exciting, and there's more energy, and in the club you can be more, you know, creative and you know, fool around with it a little bit. My mixer to go is the Allen & Heath DB4. I think it just sounds way better than the Pioneer. Even though I must say with the DJM 900, the Nexus, they made some improvements. But I just love the fact that you have different effects per channel, and Allen & Heath sounds a little cleaner to me. I love the Pioneer CD players though, and I love the Tori's the drum machine that they have. I also had that in my show in LA. I love the Tori's because it adds a creative element. You can add drums to a track, you can add samples to a track, and it's in sync with the CDJ, so it just adds, like, you know, you can add a drum track, which is amazing. So I love Pioneer, man. They're doing amazing stuff. Yeah, well, I mean, mixing now is definitely easier, especially if you have the guts to put the sync button on. I'm a little old school like that. I never used the sync functionality. I think we should use new technology and embrace it. This show that we did at the Forum was not possible without the extra software that we're running with it. We've designed a timecode system that makes it possible to sync up, for example, click tracks or timecode to the tracks. So what you saw Saturday was not a pre-programmed show, but what you did see was, for example, if Mr. Props comes on, he has a click on his ears, so he knows when I'm mixing in. So if I decide to play another U, I'll select the track, and at that point, the software that's running from a Mac will run in sync with the track. So not only Mr. Props hears click and count, he also hears visuals, pyrotechnics. You can program pyrotechnics on everything. So this makes it possible to make the show more exciting. So again, the show is not pre-programmed. It's possible still to play. I mean, on Saturday you heard I played a few brand new tracks that I just got in this week. But I love mixing that live element with, you know, so the artist knows exactly what's happening, and the crowd keeps entertained because the music doesn't stop. So it just keeps running, and this is exciting to me. I mean, I would want to go and see a show like that because it's fast, it's quick, and it's, you know, one time there's a dancer on stage, the other time there will be a light show going on, then there will be pyrotechnics, then there's just two great vocal tracks going on, Then there's a psytrance track coming in. Yeah, it's just a little bit of everything. I always go, the music is always the most important thing, and after Intense, I felt that was the last Armin Only tour I was ever going to do, because I felt I couldn't top Intense. I think it was my best work, and I just started, threw everything away, and I just started from blank. And I always said to my manager, I said, if I ever do a tour like Intense again, I want a completely new crew. So it means all the artists should be new. Even my brother, who was a guitar player on Intense, he didn't, and it was hard. But I felt like I want to show people that I'm not sort of repeating myself. I'm not doing, the ping pong moment every show for the 900th time. You have to show people that you're moving forward. And I think it's the only way as an artist to survive, to keep reinventing yourself. So the mission with Embrace, other than Intense, was to embrace different sounds,
So that was the meaning of Embrace, right? That's how we came up with the title.
Yeah, I mean, quite literally, Spanish guitar, trumpet, Kensington, working with Mr. Props, who comes from hip hop and does a track with Armin van Buuren. So, yeah, it was quite literally Embrace. Well, before we start doing this, we had a massive rehearsal time, and we hired the Brabanthalle in Den Bosch in the Netherlands. We flew all the artists to the Netherlands. And for 3 weeks we rehearsed. So every single track was rehearsed with staging. We had the entire stage there and no crowd. And then we did tryout shows. We did 2 tryouts in front of a live audience. And then you immediately see where the problems are. So then we rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed to get it better and better and better. And then we did the premiere show at the Ziggo Dome in Amsterdam. We did the show for the very first time. And then you see that the show gets better every time we do it. Also my freestyles change every time. So it's exciting for the crew because they don't hear the same music every show. So every Armin Only show that I do is different. The track list from the show I did in Oakland was different than the track list from the show I did in LA. So it makes it exciting for everybody. And the crew feels really relaxed because they know exactly what's going to happen. So if I select a track with a live element, my stage manager backstage sees it on his iPad. He sees what tracks I select. And then the next artist will be ready, and the artist knows, okay, whatever track he has been running before, he knows that he or she needs to walk on stage at 1 minute 40. So everybody's prepared, and preparation is key, and that's what I learned from working with a theater director. And so instead of the awkward feeling like sort of pushing a microphone in a mixer and say, hey, okay, sing, go sing. Instead of doing that, we make sure that the artist gets vocal coaching, an artist is relaxed, the artist gets treated well, get a good hotel room, pickups, everything is organized and arranged. But it's a big operation.
So financially it's a big burden to put on a show like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Did you ever think the fans like us?
Yeah. TranceFamily LA is the key to the success of the State of Trance. It's true. I'm not just saying it. I mean, if the radio show didn't have any fans, I mean, I think our reach, just on Facebook, we reached 5 million people with that one episode. So it's a very simple answer to your question. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for the fans, if it wasn't for the people watching right now. Exactly, but that's what I want. That's the whole point of a State of Trance. It's not the perfect radio show, but I'm presenting you the music. I'm just a guy in the middle. I get sent all this great music. I make my selection and I play it for you. I'm not saying every track is great, but I'm saying, look, listen to it and tell me what you think, because that's the point of making radio. It's about connection. Radio is about connecting to you, to the listener, to the viewers. That is the State of Trance. So it would never be a radio show without the fans. So that's why I have things like Future Favorite, the trending track, and now Service for Dreamers, which is a new item I want to present. And the idea behind Service for Dreamers is very simple. I want to know your story. Because everybody watching right now has 1 or 2 tracks that change their lives for specific reasons. And I want to know what those tracks are. Of course, it has to be a trance track, but it can be any track. So we had, last week we had Sky Falls Down. It's the first Service for Dreamers
remix.
Yeah, that was because that guy was touched by it. But I want to know those stories. I want everybody to tell me. The more personal it is, the better. So we can call you, we can Skype you, we can have you in the studio. But I want your story, because I want to. Music is meaningless without people. It's trembling air. Don't never forget that. It's just air that trembles. But because we hear it and we interpret it in our brains, it means something. So music would never be something without people. So it doesn't mean that your track needs to be #1 on Billboard. But if the track touches you, I want to know why. I want to know why that track meant so much to you. Just try to explain to me, because that's what the beauty is of music. That's why I have Service for Dreamers, because we need to keep dreaming, you know, keep this music alive.
Right, and is that a reason you added video broadcast from now on? Is to make it more personable, or?
I really don't know why I started doing the video thing, but I just felt like I need to do something new with the State of Trance, because, you know, it used to be one of the very first shows about trance, and now there's all these other shows. Great, fantastic, no credit, and it's good because competition keeps me on my toes as well. But I felt like, you know, doing these Ableton mixes with some liners over it, it just doesn't, I miss the live element. And so actually, ironically, I'm going back to the very first formula of the State of Trance.
Live mixing for second
live
hour,
mixing,
right?
we think that the chance of something going wrong actually makes it more exciting. Of course, I'll try to limit the amount of stuff that goes wrong, but it makes it more real, it makes it more human, it makes it more exciting. So you'll hear maybe a bad mix. In Ableton, you can't really make a bad mix because you can correct everything. With the live element, I'll probably be making some mistakes, but at least you see that it's real, and then I'm not, and because a lot of the music will be real, will be for the, you know, played for the first time. That used to be more of an item maybe 5 or 10 years ago. I guess right now I'm not so worried about competition anymore because I'm in a very comfortable position. You know, I can just, you know, if I want, I can move to an island now and drink cocktails for the rest of my life. But that's just not what I want, you know. I just want to share my passion for music.
Music is a lifestyle.
I'm not trying to worry too much about competition. Actually, most of the competition are close friends of mine, you know, and people I admire a lot. I mean, there's a lot of guys in the scene, even smaller guys, that I really admire for their production skills or what they're doing. And I think, you know, it's great for people to have a choice as well, you know. If you want to listen to Future Sound of Egypt, great, listen, it's a great radio show. Go for it. Pure Trance, Solar Stone, amazing. You know, Andrew Rayel has his own radio show. It's great. If you like his sound, then listen to his show. It's phenomenal. No, I'm not perfect. I never said I was perfect. You know, I'm just trying to give my overview of what I like that week.
Exactly.
And I never said the State of Trance is the perfect radio show. But of course, it's my aim to please as many people as I can. But I guarantee, if you listen to a State of Trance, you will hear at least 70 or 80% of the records that matter, are relevant. You know, for the biggest tunes of the year, for example. But of course, I'm not perfect. I'll miss out on a tune sometimes. I will, I'll admit, but I'm trying to avoid that. Well, we haven't really thought of something yet. If anything, we know that it will have to be big. We'll probably have to broadcast from a spaceship or an airplane or something.
So 15 years ago, did you ever think you'll be on a way to...
No. I remember vividly the day that I was one of the first people to count radio shows. Because I remember I reached episode 52. And then I had episode 53 coming up. And I remember having a discussion on IRC somewhere. Maybe you can find it somewhere. I remember asking people saying, should it be year 2, episode 1? Or should we say episode 53? Remember? That was I remember that moment. And then everybody said, no, just go. Yeah, but then the number gets really high, you know. And then I reached episode 100, and I started this little party on the beach because at the radio station that I worked on at the time, they also owned this beach club, Bloomingdale. So I went there, and they had a direct connection to the studio, so I could broadcast from there. So, and then I noticed that a lot of people came out, and I immediately found out the power of radio. Radio is so powerful, and now with social media and with Facebook Live and YouTube and everything, you can just reach everywhere, all the people around the world. All they need is an internet connection. So that's why my motto is, you know, turn the world into a dance floor. Because, you know, every week I'm going to have a party. You can listen to Armin van Buuren, you can see him spin live every week for free on your social media. Well, I tour less anyway because I have 2 kids now, and I simply can't handle the jet lags anymore, man. It's killing me. But I have the option to pre-record the show, which is something I don't really want to do, but it is an option. And it won't make it less live because I'll still be doing it in 1 take. So I won't be editing or editing out mistakes. It's just like, okay, record, go. A regular day in the life of Armin van Buuren is like any life of a dad and mom. You know, I wake up at 7 in the morning, I feed my kids, I bathe them, you know, do the hair of my daughter, give her some nice clothes, drive her to school. I have to drive my daughter to school or bring my son to daycare. Next year he'll go to the same school as my daughter. And then go into the studio. Usually I have my piano lessons in the morning. Once or twice a week I have piano lessons. So I love that. I love learning.
Still learning new things.
Yeah, learning. And then at 10 I usually have some phone calls to do, and then I go into the studio, work a lot with Benno de Goeie. So we get together and we start working on some tracks that, you know, I always have ideas and he has ideas, so we throw everything together. So that's exciting. And then usually we end the day at 5 because I have to pick up my daughter again somewhere. We have dinner at 5:30. Usually in the evenings I go running or work out a little bit. I ride my mountain bike a lot.
Oh, okay.
I like to do those mountain bike tracks, or I live quite near the ocean in Holland, so I just go drive my bike there a little bit. Or I spend the night with my wife, just watching a movie or on Netflix or whatever. And then I usually go to bed at 10, and then next day same. She comes on tour with me a lot. She was with me, and my kids actually were in Australia. So she saw the Embrace show in Sydney again. And yeah, we FaceTime the whole time, you know, non-stop. I just got, when I came downstairs, I was just on FaceTime.
It's nighttime in Europe, right?
Yeah, it's evening now. So yeah, I saw my kids on FaceTime, which is hard. Well, I don't like to get up too late. Usually work out in the morning. And then it's just, you know, basically catching up on emails, because I don't really have time when I'm in the studio to catch up on emails. So, but the work actually goes on. Today I was already scanning tracks for a new compilation that I'm working on. I was doing a lot of Skype meetings with people in the office, talking about the planning for our big Armin Only arena. And then usually I have some meetings. Today, tomorrow we'll be visiting some radio studios here. I'll be going. I'll be doing some writing. I'll be going to some studios. I won't go too late to bed though, because I'm really knackered from this weekend. I can feel my legs; they're really hurting
Dancing
from the
too much.
jumping up and down, and yeah. So I'll do a light workout. You know, something like half hour of running, cardio, and then some abs. Because I really need to watch my belly now. No, I guess it's normal to be a little nervous. But you know, if you prepare well, I always prepare my sets really well. Not pre-programmed, but prepare. It means like I have, you know, a playlist of 150 to 200 tracks that might be good to play, and I usually end up playing 40 or 50. So. Yeah, I mean, the thing is though, with the State of Trance, I mean, financially, it could be very interesting to do like every week a State of Trance event, but I want to show people that, I know it would be easy to sell 10,000 tickets if I do a State of Trance 800 in LA, but I want to keep it special, man. And also, the Armin Only tour is bothering me a bit, because if I do an Armin Only, I can't really do ASOT. Right. So, you know, some people say, why have you turned down on ASOT gigs? Well, 2 reasons. First of all, I don't want to overdo it. It has to be special. So, you know, the U-Track one will be huge. I think right now we're on 24,000 tickets sold.
Oh wow.
4 areas, so that's massive. But I feel like if I would have done like ASOT club shows, then the ticket sales would be less. Because people know now that it's special, you know. I only do ASOT, we'll do ASOT at Tomorrowland, I'll do ASOT at Ultra, we do ASOT Festival in U-Track, and then we'll do 1 more, and that's it. Because I don't want to overdo it. People have to know.
Be excited about it.
Yeah, because if you hear me play every month on a State of Trance event, I won't have, you know, 20 brand new tracks for you. Awesome. I don't even know what we're releasing anymore. It's just too much stuff, man. Well, you're talking to the person now, but I realize it's a brand now. You know, it's not something I'm proud of particularly, but it is what it is. You know, if you put your name on a T-shirt and people buy the T-shirt, you're a brand, right? Right. People want to buy it because your name's on it. So yeah,
it's a brand. I mean, yeah. I always find you know, you can mix all music. The only thing you can't mix with music is money.
And solo.
And solo.
Why did they have to kill him, man?
I think it's at a very good place.
I think trance is not just this anymore, it's this. I'm sad about some people that think that trance is only 138, that it's sort of a template for trance. It just was never the case. It's just some guys on the internet said, okay, this is trance, this is not trance. And like, who the hell are you to decide what is trance? You know, I want to say to people, like, if this is your definition of trance, fine. But don't go on the internet and tell other people what is trance or what is not.
Right.
Because you don't know.
Well, because
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know. You know, so I'm like, this whole debate is about, it's useless. It's useless. I mean, we should just be happy for everybody. If you know, if you're more into the RT, you know, above and beyond stuff, and that for you is trance, then fine. If you like the more like sort of EDM-ish trance, like Dash Berlin and that sort of stuff, then great. I love that sound. If you're more into like the techie side kind of sound, you like Simon Patterson and Brian Carney and all that, then that's fine. If you like the uplifting stuff and the Abora sound and the orchestrance or whatever they call it,
Fine. And I want the State of Trance to be home for all those types of trance.
Right.
It's about the emotion, man. It's about the euphoria. It's about the melody. It's not trance is not about vocals per se. But then again, who am I to say? Gaia. Now I'm working on the Gaia album, but I just need the arena show as priority number one right now. I was actually here in LA. I met up with Fernando Garibay, who worked a lot with Shakira and Lady Gaga, but we really clicked as friends. And he sent me this idea for this amazing song, and I started doing the trancey mix as well. And then I thought, the lyrics in this track just deserve to have a slower BPM version. And I know it's a bit crazy. I know it's not per se a pure trance record, but then again, I have the club mix, which is more trance oriented. And it's just, I love the lyrics. I think it's a good vibe track, and it's fun to do.
That was beautiful.